Hello, friends. This is Tania from North Star Fitness, home of CrossFit Winnipeg, and welcome back to Three Things, where we share 3 tips or 3 action items to help with your health, fitness, and performance. So, today's 3 things are 3 mindset shifts to help with your motivation at the gym. And those 3 things that we're going to be covering today are going to be make the decision once and for all. Number 2 is redefine success. And number 3 is change your self-talk. All right, so what do I mean by that? Let's go back to number 1, make the decision once and for all. I don't know if you've ever heard the term decision fatigue, but there has been a little bit of research surrounding this that shows that we really only have a certain amount of willpower or a certain amount of decision-making ability, and that kind of diminishes over the course of the day. So what I mean when I say make the decision once and for all is make the decision to be fit and to create healthy habits in your lifestyle once and for all so that you don't have to keep fighting with yourself day in, day out, so that you don't have to keep making the decision over and over again every single time you have that little argument in your head about whether or not you're going to go to the gym. So you're going to make the decision once and for all. So what I mean by that, and what does this look like from a practical perspective? Well, what this looks like from a practical perspective is that you're going to make the decision as to what your physical fitness habits are going to look like for the near future. So maybe that is going for a 10-minute walk with the dog every day. Maybe it's a few yoga classes a week. Maybe you want to commit to doing 3 CrossFit classes a week. Once you have made that decision, you are going to stick to it, and it will take a miracle to basically not stick to that decision. So what we want is we want to create a habit so that once you've made that decision, the only time you are not following the plan is because there is truly a life emergency, and that is an exception rather than the rule. All right? So make that decision once and for all so that you do not have to keep arguing with yourself every single time about whether or not you should go to the gym or not. It does require a little bit of planning and readjusting every once in a while, but do it once and then you don't have to do it again for a while. All right, number 2 is redefine success. What do I mean by that? I've struggled with this quite a bit. So I'll give an example. Last week I was lifting weight, and my first tendency was to really get down on myself because I was lifting, I would say about 60% of what I would have lifted on that lift 10 years ago or 8 years ago, when I felt like I was kind of in my fitness prime. This was before I had my son. And so my first instinct was just to really get down on myself and to think of the workout as being unsuccessful, as it being a failure of some sort. And so what I mean by redefining success is use context and create a situation where you can give yourself some wins. All right. So perhaps if you've made that decision to come to CrossFit class 3 times a week, perhaps success is simply showing up and getting those 3 workouts done. So you might be tempted to say, well, it wasn't a good workout, or it wasn't a successful workout if I didn't get my heart rate up as high as I would have liked, or perhaps I didn't burn the amount of calories that I wanted to burn, or perhaps I didn't get the workout done as quickly as I wanted to have it done. Try to take that out of your perception so that you can have a metric to determine and to define what your success is. And so if success is showing up and staying for the full hour of that class, then give yourself a pat on the back for getting that done, and don't worry about whether you get that PR or not, and don't worry about how many calories you burned. All right, so redefine success to be able to give yourself some wins. It's really important. Those wins are what's going to give you some momentum moving forward. All right, our last piece is going to be change your self-talk. What do I mean by that? I think the best way to explain that is to maybe just remind you of the type of self-talk that will go through your head on those days where it's like 40 below and you really don't want to go start the car and put your mittens and your boots on to drive to the gym. And like, I don't feel like working out. I don't want to work out. What if instead of framing the workout like that in your head, what if you actually told yourself, wow, I get to work out today. I wonder what we're going to get to do. I'm so lucky I get to work out. Where did I get this idea? I was actually talking to a member yesterday. She really, really inspired me. She was so happy. She had this big smile on her face. And she explained to me how she approaches her workouts. And she is actually truly, truly grateful for every single workout that she gets. And the reason that she's that grateful is because she actually went through a serious injury, illness. Actually, they had trouble diagnosing an inner ear problem where she was having, she really couldn't work out at all. She couldn't do any physical activity because of vertigo and a bunch of other things. And it took a really long time to get all of that sorted out. So she had 6 years of her life where she was completely unable to do the things that she wanted to do fitness-wise. So now, every single time she gets to go to the gym, it's a treat and you can see it on her face. And I love it. And I think that she is an inspiration to everyone. So that's what I mean by changing your self-talk. Now, perhaps you don't have the same issue that she has, but you can definitely imagine, what if I was in a car accident tomorrow and I was paralyzed and I never got to work out again? Or what if I lived in a part of the world, or I was born in a time or a place where my entire day was physical labor and I didn't really get to enjoy it very much? Or what if I just didn't have the time or the resources to work out, to spend any time by myself? And this is really common for, most of the people in the world that we live in today. So we are just really, really lucky to be able to do these self-care and self-improvement routines, which is exactly how I see fitness. So that's what I mean by change your self-talk. Think, I get to work out, not I have to work out. All right. And our other 2 tips are redefine success and make the decision once and for all. That's it for today, folks. Have a great day.